Welcome to the table, everyone.
Hey guys, this is Nat One Nerds back at you with another episode.
And we're doing my favorite.
Afton, since it's your favorite, do you want to tell the people what we're doing today?
We're finally doing another roleplay of Avatar Legends.
Yes, we finally are returning to Avatar Legends. The discussion episode should have been published just before this one. As you can tell, we're all pretty excited to return to this. As previously mentioned, we had attempted to explore it. Life shenanigans happened. We had to take a break. And by the time we could return to it, it was better to have kind of redo it all. But I don't think none of us are too upset by it because then we just get to play the system again. So before we jump into our actual play of Avatar Legends, why don't we go around and not only introduce ourselves, but most importantly, introduce the characters we are playing. I will go first. I am Parker, and I will be your game master this session.
I'm Brandon. I am co-host, and I will be playing not the Game Master, because there's only one. I will be playing as Ganzaya. He is a firebending soldier, and he formerly trained under Iroh, and is an aspiring member of the White Lotus, although he has yet to receive an invitation from them.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
All right. I'm Savannah, and I'm going to be playing Marin, and she is a firebender who was part of the military. Oh, did I pick the wrong person under Ozai? Is that the right person or the wrong person?
No, that's the right one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon's throwing me off now. So, okay, so she was in the military under Ozai's rule, but she got like super scarred, lost a bunch of friends, and kind of began to resent Ozai. So instead of going AWOL, she just allowed herself to become kind of aloof and distant. And she was waiting for a moment to avenge her friends and set things right.
All right. That leaves me. I am playing a waterbender from the Northern Water Tribe. Her name is Luma. Luma, not Luna. Luma. Sorry. And she's a cousin of Princess Yue and is out to seek revenge for her turning into the moon from Admiral Zhao.
See, here's the problem, Afton. Now that you said Luna, that's who I'm going to pitch for this entire freaking time.
Literally one letter different.
Just in water tribe gear. Like, it's got the glasses and everything. Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry. I just had to admit that. I know it's not Luna, it's Luma, but oh gosh. I guess another thing that we could also introduce, at least for those who may be at least slightly familiar with Avatar Legends system, or maybe at least Power of the Apocalypse systems in general, do people want to share their playbook, or would you rather people kind of figure out and then maybe say it at the end type thing?
I'm down to share playbooks.
Okay, yeah. If you want to share your playbook, you can. If you don't want to and kind of want to let people kind of maybe see if they can figure it out, then that's fine too.
All right, I guess I can start. Ganzaya's playbook is he's the prodigy.
Okay, very cool. And the prodigy, remind me what the two conflicting principles are.
Excellence and community.
Excellence and community. All right. Okay, very interesting.
Marin is the adamant playbook.
And what are her conflicting principles?
Restraint and results.
Restraint and results. Very cool. Afton, did you want to share your playbook and the conflicting principles associated with it?
Yeah, I picked the pillar, and its conflicting principles are support versus leadership.
We didn't all pick Guardian this time.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think at least two of you had picked Guardian when we first attempted an actual play episode. I mean, that was a really fun session. I'm glad we did it. I remember the first time we played, I think like two of you had... Was it you and Brandon, I think?
It was me and Afton.
It was Savannah and I. We have a tendency to think alike when it comes to Avatar Legends, apparently. Both picked the Guardian last time. This time we are both ex-military firebenders.
Oh yeah, instead of like different, instead of the same playbook, now you're just similar backgrounds. That's really funny. Okay. All right. Cool. So we got the Adamant, the Prodigy, and the Pillar. Very cool. All right, this should be really fun. Let's go ahead and everybody ready to just jump in then?
Let's do it.
Perfect. So to set.
Sorry.
Did you mean yip yip yip?
Yep.
Let's get this session up in the air, guys. I don't know. Or get this on the air, I should say. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll cut that out later.
No, you have to leave it.
Oh, dang it. All right. So, to set the stage, we are going to enter the world at the beginning of Avatar Aang's era, which, according to the rulebook, is essentially from Zuko's coronation until his death. And in this case, we are starting very shortly after Zuko's coronation. Fire Lord Zuko has taken the throne, has defeated his sister Azula, and his father, the previous Fire Lord Ozai, is imprisoned and stripped of his firebending. The once exiled prince is now attempting to help Avatar Aang restore balance to the world, and most importantly, help right the wrongs of his forefathers. But it's hard to be able to do that without some problems along the way. There is very conflicting feelings after over 100 years of an imperialist agenda. Fire Nation now finds themselves under a Fire Lord that is all about diplomacy, fairness, and peace. It doesn't bode well for everyone. Because of this, especially within the Fire Nation, Fire Lord Zuko relies primarily upon the Kyoshi warriors for protection. Due to regular problems, there have already been a few attacks either against him or against his rule to undermine him from both familiar and unfamiliar foes. You all find yourselves within the Fire Nation capital. Prince Zuko, or sorry, I shouldn't say Prince Zuko, Fire Lord Zuko now, because I'm more familiar with the first series, so I'm going to continue to say Prince Zuko probably on accident. But really, Fire Lord Zuko is currently on his way from the palace to perform some diplomacy with Earth Kingdom leaders.
Come on, you gotta give him the honor he deserves and call him by his proper title.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't his proper title Fire Lord?
No, just you calling him Prince. It's not.
Oh,
honor.
yeah, no, that's... Well, I guess, yeah, and I guess I would have been wrong. Technically, he was Crown Prince Zuko, because that's how he always introduced himself. Never just Prince. But that doesn't matter now. He's Fire Lord now. He's better than that. You all, for whatever reason, are here in the Fire Nation capital. You are kind of seeing him head off, because usually when the Fire Lord is exiting, especially a Fire Lord after hundreds of years, purposely leaving the Fire Nation to go to what was shortly an enemy of the nation, it kind of draws attention. News gets out pretty quickly. And so usually people line the streets. For the most part, people are either cheering or at least being respectful about the whole thing. You guys are watching as his entourage. It's nothing too fancy going over. He is planning on taking a airship over to the Earth Kingdom to talk to Earth leaders over there. Marin and Ganzaya. Something kind of seems off, though. Your ex-military background is kind of starting to kick in a little bit, and something kind of seems off. If you guys are welcome to roll and assess the situation. Okay, Ganzaya, what did you get?
I got a 7.
Got a 7, a partial success. Marion, what did you get?
11.
Got an 11. Oh, you got a full success.
Heck yeah.
Nice. Marion, we're gonna start with you since you got the full success here. You do notice that within the crowd, you see some hooded figures. There's not a whole lot of people wearing hoods. You just happen to see some hooded figures being very kind of neutral, being very present. And then as you kind of look back, you notice that they'll disappear or that they'll move away somewhere much different. Particularly, you notice that they are going down in the direction that Prince Zuko, or sorry, Fire Lord Zuko and his entourage are heading. Almost as if they're trying to keep the Fire Lord in sight.
They must be big fans.
Yeah, Ganza, you kind of notice something similar. You don't notice them like making their way down the crowd, keeping him in sight, but you do notice the hooded figures. And that they don't seem to stay in one place for very long.
With assessing the situation, is there a way that I could possibly, like, follow them without being caught? Like, because
Oh, I apologize.
So I have a cheat sheet.
We get to ask questions.
You do get to ask questions.
I'm okay with your description. I will take it.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah. I am so sorry. My Dungeon Master D&D skills kicked in, which in this case are not skills; they're detriments. Well, with what I described to you, if there's still a question, so Ganza, if you still want to ask a question, you're welcome to. Marin, if you want to ask 2 questions still, you can to better understand what is happening based off what you saw.
Alright, so from the list, I'm going to ask, what should I be on the lookout for?
What should you be on the lookout for? So, in this case, your military training kind of kicks in. You start to become wary that there may be a potential ambush coming along. Because being in the Fire Nation capital, you would be aware that you're very well aware that not everybody's on board with Fire Lord Zuko's ascension to the throne, and especially his 160 shift in the opposite direction of what the Fire Nation was heading in.
Well, you mean so there are people that don't like not being able to be better than everybody?
Yeah, they still want to be better than everybody else, or they view themselves as great. They were on the verge of winning the war. They were going to be the supreme culture in the world, and right as they were about to have it, Fire Lord Zuko and Avatar Aang got in the way.
They want to make the Fire Nation great again.
Oh, this is borderline. Oh, this is.
This nation has politics. Don't add.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean... Oh, my...
I'm gonna watch the hooded figures. Keep an eye on them.
Oh my god. Sure. Something like that. Something like that.
Do I get
something like that, Ganza. So pivoting away from that, Marin, what 2 questions would you like to ask based on what you saw?
So the first one I want to ask is, what here can I, like, in this general area, could I use to call attention to the hooded figures if needs be? So it's what? So the
what here can I use to?
do
Okay,
blah.
got it.
So what here can I use to call attention to the hooded figures if needs be? Is there anything that would help me do that?
I'm going to say yes to that. There is something you can do. You do notice that nearby is a school bell for like a school campus. and it looks to be it's not like super large per se, but you think if that bell were to ring, it would definitely call attention as it is the weekend. School's not in session. So that is one possibility that you see to kind of create some level of alertness in nearby people. And you have one other question.
The other question that I think I'll ask is, what is the best way through the crowd to get to Zuko if needed?
So that one will be hard. Part of Fire Lord Zuko's entourage, as usual, are several a notable number of Kyoshi warriors, plus a few Fire Palace guards that are joining in on that. So you would be hard pressed to get to Fire Lord Zuko without causing a disruption yourself. Although, based off your last question, that could call attention, and if you were to just dash out, that could call attention and create his guards to be on a much higher alert than what they previously thought they needed.
Okay, well, I'm gonna, kind of like Ganzaya, I'm gonna keep an eye on the situation and see if any of the hooded figures make a move.
Okay.
Before alerting anybody. I'm gonna stealthy stuff.
All right. So jumping from you two, we're gonna go to Luma. Luma, we're gonna say that you are also somewhat part of the crowd. Now, how intentionally you're part of the crowd, I'll leave up to you. But for whatever reason, for whatever motivations, you kind of find yourself amidst the crowd. And kind of like a somebody pulling somebody over on the side of the freeway, it causes everybody to slow down and cause traffic jam. And you can't help but also kind of gaze toward the Fire Lord and his procession for at least a few minutes. But being from the Northern Water Tribe, do you want to share the reason why Luma finds herself in the Fire Nation capital of all places so shortly after a 100-year war?
Well, she is looking for information on where Admiral Zhao might be.
Okay.
Because the way I imagine it, and I'm not super familiar with the lore or the books that happen after the TV show, but I imagine like the admirals and like the generals and like the higher up people who supported Ozai would probably go into hiding to avoid getting like thrown in jail. And Admiral Zhao would most likely be one of those people. And so, looking to avenge my moon of a cousin, I assumed that going to the Fire Nation would probably be the first stop in finding information on where to find him. So, I don't know, maybe I headed towards like a guard station or like a library or somewhere like find people to talk to, and with my station as being like a cousin to the Northern Princess or whatever, I would use that as like advancement into getting this information. That's my plan as to why I'm here.
Gotcha. So being so essentially tied to the quote-unquote royal family of the Northern Water Tribe, either Fire Lord Zuko or his cabinet would probably be aware that you're in the capital looking for information. Would you have shared why you're in the Fire Nation capital with them freely, or would you have tried to kind of put it on the down for, you know, some other diplomatic-y political talk shenanigans?
Let's say I'm here with my parents who are here to meet with Fire Lord Zuko and continue peace talks with the Northern Water Tribe, and my coming along was just part of them to keep me with them so that I don't go wander off doing my own mischievous things, because I was a little sneaky as a kid, and so I'm sneaking off away from them to try and find this information.
Oh, so are you saying you're in disguise?
Yes, I am in disguise.
Are you a hooded figure following Fire Lord?
Seriously.
Oh no.
By the way, Ganzaya is going to try to slip into an alleyway that will lead to intercepting these people between them and the Fire Lord Zuko. So, but that's just he's heading towards the alleyway. He's not actually doing anything yet.
Got it. You're prep yourself here. Luma, I'm gonna use a tactic that some friends of ours like to use quite often here. Luma, I'm gonna high or low.
Oh.
We're gonna see how closely your hood and cloak are similar to the other hooded figures in the crowd.
We'll go with high.
All right, high you're not, low you are. Ooh, you are so fortunate. I literally rolled an 11, so you're good. You're good. You're not too matching with them, thankfully.
Glad we didn't shop at the same place.
Yeah. You guys have different. When it comes to shopping for disguises, you guys have different tastes apparently. So you're in this crowd as well. Ganza, you're positioning yourself. Assuming you're kind of doing something similar to Marin, just you're kind of waiting and seeing what might actually happen.
Oh, you're asking me? That's what I'm doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, I thought you were saying like it's correct. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so you're doing this, so something similar. Got it.
Well, she's trying to go raise an alarm. I'm just trying to go head him off.
Okay, so you're heading. Okay, you're going down an alley, and you're at a much more quicker pace, trying to head off that direction. I will say, with that partial success from earlier, you are able to manage to do that very quickly. You also are able to see that the other hooded figures some of them are doing the same thing, but as you do so, a couple of them do notice you.
Okay.
Upon seeing you, because there's not as many people down the street, because obviously everybody gathered to the other street to kind of see there's very, very few people. And so seeing people leave the crowded area while Fire Lord Zuko is still kind of like right nearby, it seems a little odd. So they kind of are able to pick up where you're at. And a couple of them do kind of stop and kind of stand there and wait to see what you're going to do.
So I'm trying to head down an alleyway in front of where they are so I can head them off. And Ganzaya is going to emerge from the alleyway as these hooded figures are walking by, and I'm going to intentionally bump into them, sending a board full of pie show pieces all over the floor.
You just carry a board of my show with you all the time?
I was buddies with Iroh. What do you expect?
How big is the pie show board? Is it like a briefcase?
I keep it in my pack.
Oh my gosh, okay.
But I intentionally had all the pieces in my hand so I could stage this.
Okay, so you're gonna allow yourself to essentially get near them and kind of try to feign bumping into them and dropping all those pie show pieces.
I'm basically using the basic action of tricking an NPC.
All right, yeah, go ahead and roll a trick then.
So, but I'm gonna use my move of surprising entrance.
Ooh. Okay, you want to describe that?
So, surprising entrance allows me to use focus instead of creativity when you're tricking an enemy.
Okay. Very cool. And this is one of the techniques from your playbook as a prodigy, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, go ahead and roll with focus.
So that would be an 11.
Oh, that's a full success. So yeah, you are able to do so, and you drop them all, and one of the hooded figures, watch where you're going.
I'm just gonna start looking at all the pieces. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was looking for my partner. We were supposed to play a game today. Have you seen anyone else with a Pai Show board?
The other hooded figure. No, we haven't. We don't play Pai Show. How do you bump into somebody? The street's empty. How do you bump into us?
I was just a little distracted. I was very excited for my game.
Some game it must be.
I mean, I was going to play against a champion.
Well,
He makes
that's
some really good jasmine tea too.
that's very nice. Just stay out of our way. And they just kind of walk off, believing that you were just some bypasser bumped into them, and they continue to go down the other way where other hooded figures that headed down toward.
While I'm talking to them and bumping into them, am I able to glean any information off of like things I can see on them? Any like, do they look like they have weapons or anything? Or
That is actually a really... It's kind of hard to tell just because they both are wearing hoods and cloaks, although you do notice that the hoods and cloaks are pretty much identical. You don't notice any weapons on them, but you do happen to notice that their clasps do have Fire Nation insignia on them.
okay,
So there's not really a whole lot. They're fairly plain. Although I will give you this too, just because of your successful trick here. You do notice that their footwear is different from each other. They're not uniform. So you would glean that the only uniform thing about them is probably the hood and cloak.
so we're in the Fire Nation, around the Fire Lord, and there's a couple of guys in cloaks with Fire Nation emblems. Nothing really too suspicious.
No, nothing very too suspicious outside of what they're doing and what they're wearing. Because as I said, there's not a whole lot of other people wearing their hoods up. Obviously, it's not illegal to have a hood, so it's whatever. But it's just a little odd. And they did come across kind of rude.
As they're walking past, can I slip one of my pieces into one of their pockets as part of the trick?
I'll allow it. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. You got a nice success. So, which is there a particular piece you slip into one of their?
Just one of the pieces.
Okay, it's just a random
Just a
piece.
random
Nothing. Okay, very cool. So yeah, they head off, but they do hurry at a much quicker pace than their compatriots were doing earlier. Marion, you continue to notice the hooded figures and how they keep going down. And as you continue down, you do notice that at some point there is a bridge, which in your military experience could be seen as a choke point.
Okay.
Do the Kyoshi warriors seem like they're just walking, like they're not really like on guard?
I would say that they appear on guard for sure. Like they're on guard, they're prepared, they're trying to be prepared for whatever, but they're not necessarily straight up expecting an attack today type thing. Like this is more of a routine level of guardness. Because I mean they know how to do their job and they're very good at their job.
Okay, so knowing that they're coming to a bridge and still seeing these cloaked figures, if I have enough time for this, I'm gonna go back because you said the bell is not big.
Yeah, it's not
Is it like a handbell?
No, it's like a tap bell.
Okay.
But it's not like overtly large or anything. Like you don't think it would necessarily take a whole lot to ring it.
So I think I'm gonna go.
But yeah, you would have to go back.
So I'm gonna go back and ring the bell and try and cause a distraction.
Got it.
Like the crowd will stop moving and following Zuko,
Yeah.
so that way they can get across the bridge.
Okay, so how do you ring the bell? Because
So
it's about 3 stories above you.
can I go inside the building and find the rope?
Yeah, you could do that if that's what you want.
I think that's the most logical thing first, to try and find the road.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to be able to scale the building.
So I won't have you roll for this. This is pretty straightforward. It just will take a little bit more time to run inside and figure out a way to get to the bell, but if that's what you want to do, then you can certainly do that, yeah.
Yeah.
You can certainly try.
So we'll say that you eventually get your way up there. We'll even say that you were kind of lucky and that the door was unlocked, per se, because, I mean, how many people break into a schoolhouse? And you're able to run up, find a way up the stairs. You're able to find the bell, you're able to find a rope, and you are there to ring it. But by the time you do so, we're going to say that the entourage is crossing the threshold onto the bridge.
So she's going to start making a bunch of noise. She's going to start pulling on the bell and be like, "Look out!" And see if she can get the crowd to, like, pay attention.
I'm going to have you roll with a rely on your skills and training.
Okay.
Because you were in the military, we're going to say you weren't necessarily a grunt. So, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get people's attention if you want to.
That's a 6.
That's a 6. Okay, that's a fail. You ring the bell, you start calling out, "Look out." The people near you kind of start wigging out a little bit. They seem to be definitely on edge, but the entourage continues to go up onto the bridge. Okay.
Sorry, because I was using what I learned from assessing the situation, I would get another +1.
Mm-hmm.
But that only makes it a 7. That's not any better, so...
At this point, I'm going to say the entourage is on the bridge, and once they're on the bridge, the bridge blows up.
Oh, jeez. Hi, Zuko.
Yeah, guys, I'm canceling the Legend of Korra show. Like, it's changing the canon on that.
I'm gonna say as Ganzaya is hearing this ruckus, he is gonna start chasing after the hooded figures.
Okay, that's totally fair.
But not in like an aggressive way. He's gonna start running after them and being like, "Wait! You have one of my pieces!"
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you roll to push your luck just to see what happens? I don't think this is in any particular skill here, so we're gonna just use that.
Alright, give me a second. Push your luck is... Let me see again.
While he's rolling that, I would obviously say that Luma hears an explosion and is going to turn towards it and see what's going on and realize what's going on. And see if she can spot out anybody who, like, did it, basically. See if she can find the opposing force to what caused it.
That was an 8, by the way.
Push your luck was an 8, so okay, a partial success. So, one of them keeps running, and the other one, like, turns back to you and is like, what is he, like, has this, like, quizzical look of, like, what the, you know, and he kind of slows down just to make sure he's, like, almost like he's just so confused as to this weird statement that you made from a block back that he's like, did I hear that right? And once he kind of realizes that that's what you heard, he's like, I don't have your piece. And, like, he then starts going, but it did slow him down, and you're pretty much nearly caught up with him.
Okay, I'm still gonna keep approaching them. But anyways, you can continue with your narrative as that happens.
Okay, so Luma, go ahead and roll and assess the situation. And this time I will remember that it's not a perception check.
Okay.
So assess the situation, you roll with creativity, and you'd ask questions depending on what you roll.
I got an 8.
So you can ask one question for
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's a partial success. You get to ask one question of the following: what here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way out, in, or through? Who or what is in the greatest danger?
I would probably ask who or what is the biggest threat.
Who or what is the biggest threat? So you notice that the bridge blowing up, you realize that out from the nearby shrubs are these hooded figures that Gonzo and Miriam had seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice that they are trying to they are quickly approaching the inferno ablaze, and you notice that the fire isn't terribly doesn't seem to be bothering them too much. So you can assume that these hooded figures are firebenders of some degree.
Okay. Just an observation question. What's under the bridge?
What's under the bridge?
Is it just water or a chasm? Or...
It is water. It's a decent little stream.
It's just water under the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing major. Nothing's happening. It's just water under the bridge. It's fine. What? Well, since Luma is a waterbender, I would say that the stream has lots to give Luma if she so wishes.
So then I guess theatrically question, when the bridge got blown up, did everybody on the bridge fall in the water? Like, what happened to the people on the bridge?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question.
Yeah, from my vantage point, can I see what happened with those that were on the bridge?
I will say that your vantage point does give you kind of the heads up what's happening. Marion, you noticed that when the bridge blew up, you saw people flying everywhere. So you saw some Kyoshi warriors, like a few went into the stream, a few went onto, got blown backwards back towards where they came from. However, you don't see Fire Lord Zuko. Well, no, I would say you actually do notice where Fire Lord Zuko is, because he is a freaking awesome firebender and actually knows how to firebend, unlike most people. And you see that really the giant blaze in the center is not necessarily just a giant inferno, it is a very controlled inferno, with Fire Lord Zuko at the very center of it.
What an honorable leader.
Yes.
I guess seeing all of this and who the biggest threat is, can I start making my way towards the river to waterbend it at them?
Yeah, you can certainly waterbend at them. Are you attacking the people? Are you putting out the fire?
Put out the fire.
You're trying to put out the fire? Okay. Pretty simple. Water v fire in its natural state. Water usually wins. So you are able to waterbend, and you start quickly putting out this fire. Now the bridge is kind of toast.
Quite literally.
Yeah, quite literally. But you are able to waterbend. I would say that a few of the Kyoshi warriors might be on fire themselves. I mean, it was a pretty decent explosion. So I would imagine maybe you throw some water onto them, that kind of thing. So you're kind of just helping out, kind of doing trying to help bring control to the scene, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
As you do so, a couple of these hooded figures kind of notice what you're doing, and they begin to advance on you. So we're actually going to go ahead and enter a combat exchange.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, this
Great
is
job, Afton.
Well, what do you want me to do? Let Fire Lord Zuko burn? He's already missing an eye. I don't think he wants to get any
It's
other
not
birds.
missing, it's just scarred.
He's scarred an eye. He doesn't need more scars. Besides, if I can get his good side.
Oh no, a bunch of initial D&D players going into a combat exchange in another system. Who would have thought? How combat exchanges work. So essentially, everybody's going to choose an approach. They're going to choose either to defend and maneuver, advance and attack, or evade and observe. And depending on what stances everybody chooses, that signals what order everybody goes in, including the NPCs. So, is anybody going to defend and maneuver?
Yes, me, because I'm going to where it says seize a new position because I'm still in the building.
Yeah.
So I need to get out of the building. I need to go to a new location.
Okay. That's fair. Okay.
So that will be what I'm doing.
Okay, is anybody else going to do defend and maneuver? If not, we'll go ahead and resolve Marion's turn this round.
I have a question.
Sure.
So let me think of how to word it.
I'm defending and maneuvering too.
Oh, okay.
You have fighting techniques that you can pick from, and
Yes.
and those fighting techniques have either the station of defend and maneuver, attack and advance, or evade and observe, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, I'm also going to defend and maneuver.
We're all very defensive.
Okay, everybody's defending. Well, that makes it easier. Okay, PCs are going first. Because I will admit right now, none of these are defending and maneuvering right now. Or at least this round. So, we'll go ahead and do the order that people claim defend and maneuver. So we'll do Marion. If that's okay with everyone.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
fine.
Okay.
Marin,
I'm sorry. Marin, I am so sorry.
But yes, I'm going to seize a new location, essentially, or move to a new location. So, let's see. It says roll with focus.
Okay. Roll that focus.
I rolled a
Oh,
10.
nice. Okay, that is a full success. So in this case, and you're kind of far away, so essentially you're just successfully moving within the immediate
Yes.
situation happening, if you will.
Yes.
Okay, so now you're more or less now in the thick of it.
Yes.
Okay.
The thick of it?
Into the inferno.
Oh.
So Ganzaya. Oh, there's an eye. Okay, I saw the eye. I also apologize. I think at one point I said Gonzo, which is a Muppet, so I apologize.
I'm calling him Gonzo, but I've been kind of just letting it slide because, Gonzo's cool.
I'm just gonna eat it. I don't really have an excuse. The only excuse I have is my kid watches Sesame Street, so it's kind of similar.
You know what? You're a dad. It is what it is.
It is. Okay, Ganzaya. What defend and maneuver tactic are you using?
Like the fighting technique?
Yeah.
I am going to use Fire Whip. How many enemies are there actually?
Wait, hang on though. Oh. Because he's asking that because we have a cheat sheet that gives you moves that you can do.
Uh-huh.
Because wouldn't that be advance and attack if you're using your fighting technique?
So Fire Whip is specifically under defend and maneuver. Like each fighting technique is under one of the three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think the cheat sheet we have, it just kind of has like the universal,
It's just basic.
basic
Okay.
universal stuff.
I'm gonna.
All right, you use that Fire Whip.
All right. So how many enemies are there, and what are they doing?
We'll say for the moment, we're gonna say there's gonna be about 5 of them.
Okay.
For the time being, there's 5 that are actively advancing on this destroyed bridge,
Including 2 of the ones that Brandon's character chased.
including 2 of the ones that Brandon chased, who has is one of his Pi Show tiles.
Even though they don't know it.
Yeah, you gotta get that tile back, man. You might burn in the whole thing.
I know.
Then you have to buy a whole new set.
So Fire Whip says I whip my target with a whip of fire, and they take 2 fatigue or a condition, your choice. And they also get 1 extra fatigue if they choose to advance and attack this round.
All right. So they are getting how much fatigue?
So 2 fatigue or a condition, your choice, and then they get 1 more fatigue if they choose to advance and attack this round.
Ooh, super fun.
It is. That's why I picked it.
So they're gonna mark 3 fatigue because they did not expect a massive Belrog whip coming at them.
You shall not pass! Except I have the whip instead of the staff.
All right, so they got 3 fatigue. Anything with that technique, or is that?
That's it.
That's it. All right, yeah, they just went ahead and took the fatigue just because it was kind of a you kind of came out of nowhere. So
You took my tile.
you do notice that one of the guys that gets hit with the fire whip, it seems that the fire whip kind of went near his pocket, and you're not sure if that's the guy that has your tile or not. So you're a little unsure, man. All right, Luma, you also did defend a maneuver. Thanks, guys, for listening to part 1 of our Avatar Legends actual play, Flowers and Flame, with Parker as the Gamemaster, Savannah as Marin, Brandon as Ganzaya, and Afton as Luma. We hope you guys have been enjoying our exploration of the Avatar Legends TTRPG system by Magpie Games. And we hope that you're following us on social media, specifically Instagram, Facebook, and Threads, to get updates and other insights into the TTRPG community. We hope to see you for part 2 of our actual play, and until then, happy rolling.